the way I like to see it, you could put this in or whatever, but the way I like to see ADHD isn't attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. I actually see it as achieving despite his or her diagnosis.
Awesome. Welcome back to the Encore Club podcast. Today, I am joined. Let me run down a list of things that our guest gets up to in his day to day. He is a UK entertainer, live host, DJ, skateboard teacher and enthusiast, content creator known for performing at festivals, club shows, and large events across the UK. He's built a following through social media, his comedy characters, and his characters as a universe, I guess, is the best way of putting it. Live stage work and becoming known through high energy hosting and crowd interaction. Alongside entertainment, he's also spoken openly about mental health and his project You, Me, and ADHD, where he shares real experiences in an honest and humorous way. He's created a range of entertainment characters, including, but not limited to, The Mask, the Genie from Aladdin, Art the Clown from which horror movie is that?
Terrifier.
Terrifier. I need to see this. The problem is my partner. I'm already talking to my guest. We'll get to him in a second, but my partner's scared of horrors. Partner's scared of horrors, and so I haven't seen a horror movie in about 3 years, and I'm kind of missing it a little bit because I kind of grew up on them. So I'm sure we'll get into that a little bit later. But of course, we know him also as the Yorkshire Grinch, who has graced our podcast last year as our Christmas special, and that is, I believe, a bit of a fan favorite online. Um, Mixing DJ culture, comedy, live presenting, social media, and storytelling, which makes him one of these people that can basically be on stage one night and then filming sketches the next. It is none other than Ryan Swain. Ryan, thank you so much for joining me, mate.
No, thank you for having me on. And I think you forgot the most important thing there, which is probably the most famous person that you've never heard of. So thanks for having me on.
There you go. That's going to be your tagline for this episode.
That's it. I mean, that is a very long introduction. Do you know what I mean?
There you go. Well, you've got a lot to talk about, to be fair, mate. We've got a lot of ground to cover here, and we've got to
it's
throw
it's
in
a
music
good
somewhere.
job that you aren't allocated to like 500 characters for the intro because I don't think it would have met that criteria. Do you know what I mean?
I'd have
But
to
yeah,
like cut off at like Art the Clown
you would
and
have. Yeah,
just leave it at that.
and just to put it out there for the viewers and yourself, if you are watching or wanting to watch Terrifier, if you've never seen it, just a little hens tip: it is an absolutely brutal film. And I mean, I've seen horror films, but I mean, this but it exceeds all expectations of horror. And it's very surreal and not for the faint-hearted, shall we say. If you don't like gore and things, if you're not adverse to that kind of thing, don't watch it. Do you know what I mean?
There you
So
go. One for the true
just
horror
thought I'd put that
enthusiast.
out there before we big up Art the Clown. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, there you go. There you go. No, we needed it. We needed it. Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah.
um, Ryan, let's go back to the start, mate. Um, Tell me what kind of kid you were growing up and what you were like at school.
Yeah, brilliant. Always been an entertainer. I've always had that in me. How it used to come out when I was younger was a little bit different to how it comes out now, but it's always been there. It's a very cliche thing to say, isn't it? A born entertainer, and but I did. I sort of came out the womb with jazz hands. Do you know what I mean? Like, ta-da, let's go. Yeah, and I've never really sort of stopped that. I've always loved entertainment, show business. Um, Obviously with music and presenting, hosting, comparing and stuff. I like to look back at some of the greats that I grew up on as a kid myself. Um, I'm always getting compared to a young presenting anyway, comedy wise, get compared to a young Michael Barrymore. Obviously, just because of how quick witted he used to be, and how good he was with people. Um, and I think I've got that same rapport with people, which has always come very naturally. Like you say, from being a child, I've always wanted to entertain people and make people laugh and smile and things. Obviously, get compared to Jim Carrey a lot, a young Jim Carrey, because of the sort of physicality and the fact that I move around a lot. And just to put it out there for the viewers that are watching this, if you do suffer with motion sickness, this podcast probably isn't for you to. So, because we're
I
going to be,
sway a bit as well, mate. I'm a little
yeah,
bit
we're
all
going to
over
be,
the
it's going to
place,
feel like you're, yeah, on the Titanic.
so
But
exactly.
yeah.
Well, yeah,
So yeah, I've always been an entertainer. As a kid, I was very energetic, very proactive. I used to swing from curtain to curtain like Mowgli out the Jungle Book. This is before I was diagnosed with ADHD, just to put that out there. And always been very creative. Always had a very innovative and creative mind from a very young age. I just didn't know what to do with it when I was younger, if that makes sense. I think I had all these madcap ideas and always wanted to do things that were outside the box, but maybe didn't comprehend exactly what I was sat on, if that makes sense. So until I got older.
that's yeah, yeah, that's fair enough. Um, how did it? I mean, was there a moment in particular that you were like, okay, well, I like making people laugh. I like being the kind of center of attention here. This is
Yeah,
maybe
so there's a story which is, I think it was for my 5th birthday, and my mum and dad and my grandparents had booked me a magician to come and perform at my birthday party. And back in the 90s, he used to go into your classroom and they would have a big polystyrene cake, which was beautifully iced, and would have candles in all year round, which you'd blow out, and everybody would pass the cake, not pass the parcel, pass the cake round the birthdays in the class. And it came to my birthday, and I blew the candles out, and then I gave everybody an invitation to my party, which was on the Sunday. Everybody in the classroom came to the party, and the magician was there, and he was called Uncle Walter. What a name! What a name!
great
And
name.
yeah, he had this like mustache and a really jazzy waistcoat. He looked like Dick Dastardly off Wacky Races. Uh, and basically had the old magic wand and the top hat, like the proper traditional cliche magician. And he was a wonderful children's entertainer actually in the Yorkshire area. I didn't know that until later on, obviously. But as a 5-year-old kid, with all my friends in the classroom around me, I got up halfway through his performance and he needed a volunteer. So he didn't even get the choice of picking a kid because I'd already presented myself directly in front of him and he didn't really know what to do. So I was heckling magicians at 5 years old. And basically, I was his volunteer and I was meant to help him out with a trick, which I did. But then I didn't go and sit back down with the rest of the children. I actually just stood up and started pulling out his handkerchiefs out of the box and pulling out all his tricks and sort of exposing what he did before he even did it. And he actually didn't know who I was, which he shouted out, who does this child belong to? When my mum and dad was like, oh, this is Ryan, he's the birthday boy. The mood changed a little bit, but because otherwise he wasn't going to get paid, let's face it. But yeah, I think from that moment, 5, 6, I've always kind of known that I liked being in front of crowds, and I knew I could entertain them and engage with them, and yeah, I like the feeling of that from a young age. So yeah, that's definitely a definitive moment in my career. I think looking back in hindsight, which is a wonderful thing, you know.
Like it, stealing the stage from a magician is definitely going to be a highlight for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Even though I'm not affiliated with magic whatsoever, yeah, I think, yeah, it would be classed as like a stage dive now, wouldn't it? Or a photo bomb, stage bomb. But
Yeah, yeah,
I'd probably get
yeah.
kicked out for that now. Do you know what I mean? But,
Depends what show, mate. If you're DJing there, then,
well,
technically you might
yeah, if
be
I'm on the guest list, I guess, but even then, I mean, that can lead you to all kinds of trouble as well, can't it? So,
true.
but yeah, it's all good fun.
Love that. Okay. And obviously you do a lot with your project Yumi and ADHD. Let's talk about that just a little bit. Where did you first start understanding your own ADHD and how it affects you?
That's a wonderful question. So I went undiagnosed with ADHD throughout my whole childhood, infancy into adolescence. I didn't get properly diagnosed until I was 2021, so adulthood. Um, Looking back at my childhood, presented itself right from the get go. I was restless, fidgeting constantly, couldn't sit still. Mind was constantly on, never switched off. Like I said, I used to swing from curtain to curtain out like Mowgli out the Jungle Book. I used to give people motion sickness. Um, yeah, I couldn't listen. I couldn't follow instructions. I found education very overwhelming. Didn't digest information and follow instructions like everybody else did. Um, I struggled to regulate my own emotional responses as a child. Um, and that would often get me into a lot of trouble. I think people really misunderstood me, and you were labeled kind of bad or naughty or lazy, or your parents don't care, they're bad parents, the old bad parent cliche.
Yeah.
So yeah, I kind of went through all that as a child, but I also went at the age I mentioned there, obviously previously the previous question about um, the magician and things. But when I was 4, I found out that I had a really severe and major heart defect, which really should have been picked up from when I was born. Basically, it's called a patent arterial ductus. And believe it or not, everybody has this when they're born. So basically, when you're born and brought into the world, your heart has a valve that's open and then it closes and heals naturally. Mine stayed open. Nobody knew that. Nobody detected that. And again, it's to do with ADHD because the ADHD masked my heart defect because of how I presented myself on the exterior when in the interior was failing and shutting down. And, I think that's such an important message because that can resonate to anybody that's not just going through, ADHD or a neurodivergent, but mental health in general. We don't really know what people are thinking and feeling on the inside. To some people, it can look wonderful. Their life can look very glamorous and very exuberant and exciting. And what you're complaining about, you've got everything in front of you. You look fantastic, but on the inside, everything's failing and falling apart. And that's the kind of story, really, with the heart defect is that my ADHD masked it. And like I said, swinging from curtain to curtain, like Mowgli out the Jungle Book, you had surplus energy, yeah, didn't present myself as a sick, poorly child. So nobody really picked up on it. And it took me to the point where I actually collapsed um, for someone to take me to the doctors and then the hospital to find it. And then when they did find it, it was really late on. So I was like 4 years old. And they had to do an emergency operation, which took place at Killingbeck Cardiological Hospital, which was in Leeds. And sadly, it's been demolished now. It's been flattened and taken away, but it's travesty. But actually, the cardiological part of that now is at St James's Hospital in Leeds. But yeah, looking back in hindsight, that was a really tough time for myself, my family, everybody around me. Um, but again, the ADHD thing masked a lot of it. So how nobody picked up on it was it's still beyond me.
Yeah.
Every school report that I got, it was Ryan can't sit still. Ryan's an excessive talker. Ryan fidgets. Ryan is out of control. He's bad. He doesn't listen. He's disruptive, distractive, daydreams. The dreams of Hollywood blockbusters almost. Um,
Yeah.
but then he's not present in the room. He's unpunctual, can't focus, can't listen, can't concentrate. All these things that were thrown at me as a child and then continued into my teenage years, into my adolescence, into my adulthood. So again, it's all these reoccurring things. And yeah, school never really mentioned it. My mum started to pick up on it. My mum's always been ahead of the game with that kind of thing. And she knew that I was not doing too well at school academically, so she wanted to intervene and try to get me some support, what we now know as special educational needs and things like that, the support for that. There was none of that put in place for me. My mum was treated like she was some sort of neurotic parent, do you know what I mean? Like she
Mm.
was making it all up, and, it's crazy when I look back at it, but yeah, it's definitely had an impact on my life from a young age, and it's always been with me from a young age. And yeah, I do think that the heart problem and a lot of other things that I've gone through that has caused my body trauma, ADHD's maybe mass the impact of that to everybody else in society for sure.
It sounds yeah, it sounds like a lot. Like, it sounds like you've been through the ringer a little bit.
Right, we're 10 minutes in, we're getting into the heavy stuff already. It's
Mate, we'll hit the heavy stuff, and then we'll have a laugh, like, in like, 10 minutes time, and we'll talk,
I
like,
mean, we can have a
yeah.
laugh about the heavy stuff. I mean, I'm pretty light-hearted with it all, to be honest with you, but,
It's
it's what
alright. We'll
Yorkshire
we'll we'll
tea
talk
does.
about my we'll talk about my dad dying soon, mate, and then we'll just really bring the
Oh
mood down.
my word. Yeah, okay,
I'm joking, I'm
okay.
joking. That is a joke that I have with a lot of guests, by the way. But yeah, no, I do get it. There's a lot of people around me that do, I don't wanna say suffer with ADHD, because I feel like, people manage
Yeah, people
ADHD.
manage, people cope, and I always say to people, whether you're diagnosed or undiagnosed, um, people are more educated now than ever. They've got more information, more resources to learn about these things, even if you're self-diagnosed. As long as you're self-aware and you can self-accept and self-heal, and you, like I say, are aware of what ADHD is, the condition, and you're knowledgeable on it, and it can become manageable. But again, it's when all these things, these reoccurring things, have an impact in your life, and they're causing problem after problem in every area of your life, then obviously you do need to take some action on that, and that's kind of what's happened with me as time's gone on. So
This is it. Yeah, yeah. Well, and it's kind of, I guess, formed you into the person you are today, that's been able to go out and then
Absolutely, absolutely. The way I like to see it, and you can put this in or whatever, but the way I like to see ADHD isn't attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. I actually see it as achieving despite his or her diagnosis. So
ooh, I love that.
again, I think that's a really strong, powerful message to empower people with ADHD, that just because you've been given this label doesn't define you. And it certainly doesn't mean to say that you are incapable of achieving basically what you want to achieve. I knew from a young age, as I mentioned, that I've always wanted to be a performer and an entertainer, and be a creative. And yeah, it's not been an easy ride. It's been an enduring, painful journey. But at the same time, it's also been a very exciting and um, eye opening experience for me. And I've managed to do it with that sort of perseverance and determination and tenacity. You build all that up, I think. I think ADHD people are very good at building that kind of resilience to overcoming things.
Yeah, 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 definitely, definitely, and you can see it with everything you do. And I've been catching up on a couple of like, the podcasts and stuff you've done recently,
Yeah. Yeah, I've
and
talked
stuff.
a lot about this recently on podcasts and things, obviously mainly focused on mental health and neurodiversity and stuff. But yeah, it's a massive part of my life, both talking about my career with you and my family life, and everything that I do, it impacts everything. So yeah, it follows me
Yeah.
around like the tornado. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Um, so, okay, let me switch it up slightly then, because I think
Okay.
everyone, especially your followers, for example, they know you based on your social output, your characters, your stage presence and things like that. But
Yeah, sure.
what are you like on your actual kind of your day to, let's say you have a day off. Let's not your day to day, but your day off. Like you're home with the family. How are you at home?
Okay, that's a great question. I'm a very introverted extrovert, so I actually really like being at home. Um, a bit of a hermit when I'm at home, to be honest with you. For somebody who's so proactive and loves meeting people, seeing people, I feel like my work takes me all over the country and sometimes even into other countries and things. So I don't feel like I really have to go out when I'm at home, when I'm with my family. Um, so yeah, I spend a lot of time at home just nesting really. Just had a baby, Zane. He's 10 months, 11 months. So yeah,
Congrats.
I feel like I'm relearning how to be a baby dad again. Do you know what I mean? Which is good. Um, and I love my son, so I love my other kids as well. I've got 3 other children, so yeah, really, really important. And I like to chill out. I like to watch Netflix, do a good old Netflix binge. I can't beat a good crime documentary or something which is educational, something that I'm learning something new about. I like watching a lot of YouTube tutorials on really zany, wacky, um, almost surreal things that you wouldn't think of sort of looking for. Do you know what I mean? I'll come across one and then I'll be like, oh, let's look at another one and another one. And then you've wasted half a day. Do you know what I mean? Watching YouTube tutorials on how to put a tire on a car or something. It's probably something that I'm never ever going to do, but it's in the back of my brain somewhere.
Down the rabbit hole, like
Yeah, down the
just
road. I also, as you can see, I mean, that's the Keith Haring painting behind me, but I'm really into art and things, and I've recently sort of rekindled a lot of old flames and passion for art again. Um, the lockdown was a massive creative ride for me, a really exciting period creatively, because I actually picked up my pens, pencils, paints again during in the lockdown, and I hadn't done that for many years prior. So, yeah, last few years I've been experimenting with art again, and that really helps everything. It helps me mentally and emotionally and even physically. It gives me the sort of proactiveness and determination to want to achieve something and finish it. Most importantly, being an ADHD, we're great at starting all these things, opening all these tabs, but never closing them or finishing the project that we start. Um, so yeah, art really chills me out, and I like drawing and painting, and I like music. Obviously, I have a mix. I like having a mix and just experimenting with music. It's all digital now, a lot of it. So there's arguments on both sides when it comes to DJing. Oh, it's all digital. It's all done for you. I don't deny some of that. However, I think creatively now you can practically do anything you want to do musically because the resources are there to do it. I'm not ashamed to admit I've tampered about with AI and things, and it's a magnificent tool for music. And I
mm,
know that a lot of talent and a lot of musicians get the backup about it and things. And I'm always very impartial and try to understand everybody's point of view on it, and most importantly, I respect people's views on things. But yeah, I like to play with music. I like to generate things and see where it takes me. I'm really into like mashup mixes. I like taking people's music and mashing it up with another track or another backbeat or whatever I can to taking stems and just building something with it, that's not been done before, and giving it a new sound and a new meaning maybe to the track or whatever. So yeah, I like messing about with music. I like art. I like creativity. But most importantly, I love spending time with my fiance Sam and my kids. You know, we've had some wonderful experiences over the last few years. Me and Sam, we go off. Well, we did. Before we had Sane, we used to go off walking and exploring places. cold water swimming. There's no better way of getting endorphins flowing than a good old cold water swim, whether it's in the sea or in a waterfall or a lake. It's a wonderful experience, really invigorating experience. Um, so yeah, I'm a big family man. I love my family. I love spending time with my family. It's important. I think everybody should take note of that. Always make time for your family. Really important.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Shout out to Sam and the kids back at home.
Yeah, big shout out to, well, they're upstairs, but yeah.
Well, they are well, back at
They've
home
probably got a
in your
glass. They've probably either got a glass at the door or on the floorboard. You know what I mean?
daddy's
Listening to
talking
them.
about us again.
My ears twitching. I can hear you talking about.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I think you hit on a few points there that resonate with me quite well. So like AI, I get a lot of stick on AI for this podcast, weirdly. Because
Wow.
we're so our job here is to create a dream concert, right? And one of the things I wanted to do is with every thumbnail that I released, I wanted to recreate the dream concert, or at least the setting.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
I don't have the finances to pay for a graphic designer to do this, and I have a tool that I can use that can generate it and probably do a pretty good bang up job of making it happen.
In
So
rapid speed, I bet, as well, right?
rapid speed. And look, that's not to say that later down the line, when this podcast is earning a bit more money, I don't hire in a team to then do that, because actually I'll have more control over it, because AI is good, but it's not there yet. Like, it's not doing exactly what I want. The faces aren't great. Um,
Yeah, they all look
on,
the
on
same. No, have you ever seen Where's Wally? It's a bit like that, right? When you AI generate something, it's like trying to find the face that doesn't look like all the other faces. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, they all look the
exactly.
same.
Yeah.
They all
Yeah.
look exactly the same. Like,
It's like AI is actually just one illustrator just working on the same, like, images or the same faces across the board for everyone in the world. Um, I'm in a position where it makes sense for me to use AI to generate those images, because I don't have the means to do anything but that. And I mean, unless everyone wants me to draw stick men for their thumbnails, like,
I mean, that's a
it's not
unique
gonna.
quality. It could take off.
I mean, he could, he could. Let's not put it out there, because I'll
Like
get
you like
emails and they'll be like,
well,
"Will,
it worked for Lowry. Do you know what I mean? Like he painted like loads of little stick men and things, and
this is true.
yeah,
This
so
is true." Maybe I'll
LS
give it a go
Lowry.
one day.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's let's get into some music based questions, if
Yeah, of
that's cool.
course. Let's do it. I love music. I'm like a jukebox. So yeah, hit
Yeah,
hit hit me with the music.
I'm aware of this based on past conversations we have in
Oh,
your
with my
other
alter ego. Yeah,
with your alter egos. Yeah, I was shocked at a few, to say the least. I was like, "Oh my god, Chapel Roan coming in," and then just like, yeah, amazing. Um, First question, and this is something I ask everyone: what was the first concert you ever went to?
Right. So the first ever concert I went to was to see a band because I used to obviously being a skateboarder. Um, I love dance. I've always loved dance music. I mean, I was brought up on dance music from being a small child, and then when I went to youth club, I learnt how to DJ and mix vinyls and then CD decks and all that kind of stuff. That's how I became a DJ. But your question is first concert. First concert I went to see was a band called Placebo when I was 15. Wow, what an experience. I liked Placebo because for me, they were great to skate to. All the guitar riffs were really quick and like quite intricate and they just had basically they were a three piece and they had something really unique about them. The look, their attitude, it was like punk music and indie music infused together. Yeah, I like the lyrics. I like the fact they wrote songs about quite dark subjects. Um, but they're a bit like the Smiths, really. Do you know what I mean? Like all the the sort of melodies are quite upbeat and toe tapping. Do you know what I mean? can't help but sort of nod and tap along to them. But the lyrics are quite sinister. Yeah, Placebo was the first concert I went to, followed by Good Charlotte. I was a big fan of Good Charlotte. And then when I seen the poster that you were sharing the other day, I was like, no way, Good Charlotte. Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
mate, honestly,
love
that
them.
that festival is
Insane.
like it's my bread and butter for festivals is Slam Dunk Festival. Like, I go every year that I can. I was lucky enough to be part of the press last year, so I went and interviewed a load of bands, and, I love it. I love it so much. It is there's something about alternative kids where they're just nice. You don't get the and this you don't get the dickheads who throw piss everywhere. You don't get the dickheads who
Yeah.
start fights. You just get
Things thrown at you like a coconut shy. Do you know what I mean? Like,
exactly
yeah,
exactly, yeah.
it's no good.
And,
Like, you're not
I
going to
I'm
win a
also I'm
goldfish,
also
mate. Do you know what I mean? You're not going to win a gold.
exactly,
Don't
exactly.
try and hit me with your bottle of piss. Do you know what I mean? I've had that done to me actually, but it was a can of Foster's, so technically a can of piss. Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah, 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 I feel that. Oh god.
there we
Uh,
go.
but that's what I love about that festival, like, everyone's lovely. You know, we went and played some games with the actual, like, the people there. Like, we I took a bag of kazoos, and they had to recreate songs and split into teams with just
Oh,
kazoos.
kazoo! Yeah,
And
wow.
love a kazoo. And hopefully, fingers crossed, Slam Dunk, please have me back this year. Um,
There's an
I
appeal.
would
If
love
anyone's from Slam Dunk Festival on my page, hit him up.
help a
Get
brother
Will
out
there.
because
Get him
we
there. He
smashed it
needs
last
to be
year. Our
there.
YouTube video did numbers, so,
Yeah,
um,
exactly. But yeah, no,
but,
good Charlotte. Yeah, I went to see them at the O2 Academy. Um, I've always been a big fan of the Madden Brothers. I think they're really good. I like the fact that they were quite punky, post-punky. But yeah, they're the concerts that I went to first. But looking back in music, I think, people are like, "Whoa, you like Good Charlotte," and you're like, Placebo. I could name you a whole roster of other bands that I absolutely love and listen to. Everything from indie right through to folk, punk, post punk, all of that. So it's not just dance music that I'm affiliated with. Just because I don't sing or play in a band, doesn't mean to say I'm not musically interested in other genres.
well, this is it. I think and I don't even think this is just specific to people that have a kinda deep passion for music, but, like, I love all genres of music. I mean, I know I'm quite emo heavy on the wall behind me, but I do have a bit of Catfish,
Yeah, I
Coldplay at
like
the
I
top.
like the Blink 182 there, and who else
Love
have we got? And
got
yeah, Linkin
My
Park,
Chemical so yeah, it's all bands that I kinda grew up on, so that's taking
My
back
Chemical
Sunday.
Romance, and who
Yeah,
else? Yeah, can
Sum
see that.
41, Panic at the Disco. We
Do you
got
like
a good
Yellow
mix.
Card? I used to love Yellow Card. Thought they were
Fucking
they
lo
were a good
I
band.
went and saw them last year. It was so
Were they
good.
good? Yeah, we're still good. It's
Mate,
still going.
they came it was the first time back in the UK for a long time, and like, post-split 'cause they split up for a long time, and, they did Brixton Academy, and honestly, like, Only One, Ocean Avenue, like, I just songs of
Yeah,
my
Ocean
childhood,
Avenue's a
mate.
tune. Yeah, it's a good tune. Yeah, I used to like
Okay.
them. I used to like the All American Rejects, Lost Prophets. Who else I used to like? I used to like trying to think of some more. Some 41. Used to really like Some 41. Um
Something really good.
yeah. Smashing Pumpkins. I like Smashing Pumpkins. I think they're a good band.
I got into them well, I say relatively late. It was, like, late teens that I got into Smashing Pumpkins, and it was because a friend, introduced me, and then he introduced
Quite
me to
quite
bands like
similar to Placebo, I think. Quite yeah,
see, my introduction to Placebo was through Cruel Intentions, the movie.
yeah, okay.
So the "Every Me, Every You," that song, like,
Yeah.
was obviously
It's
the
also
kind of
on a
soundtrack.
it's also on a very famous skateboarding video called Flip, Sorry. So, that's how I got introduced to it. Yeah, It's a yeah, great tune, great tune.
Is there oh, not necessarily, going down the kind of rock band vibe because I want us to be able to access your entire kind of
Yeah,
your
sure. I'm just
catalog
looking
of
at those images behind you, and it just reminds me of when I was like 12, 13 years old, and on a Saturday afternoon in this small rural town that I live in called Malton, there'd be a market, right? And we'd go down the market, and there would be a stall with a guy selling, probably now, as we know in hindsight, knockoff hoodies of like Blink 182 and
yeah.
Slipknot and Nirvana and all the bands that you can think of, yeah. And we used to get them. We used to get them with the Bernie's jeans and the big chain, these big fat etnies on, or Vans, you know. Your Mosher, your Grebo, things getting thrown at you, still like a coconut shy. Like, but then all this is the rage now, isn't it? All these hipsters love all this sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, the torture and the torment and the aggravation that we went through as teenagers liking bands like complete misfits. Do you know what I mean? And now it's like a really hip thing to like all this sort of stuff. So it's bittersweet with me. Do you know what I mean?
Nostalgia is fashionable now, isn't it? So it's
Yeah,
like,
really. Yeah, exactly. It's like,
I
you
mean,
know,
to be completely fair, this whole podcast hinges on nostalgia. So
on
it's like,
nostalgia. Well, that's why I love it so much. I think it's just a trip down memory lane. You know, it's great.
this is it. That's why I love it because for me, it's like I have such a passion for music, especially the music that I grew up on, but to also talk to someone else about their music choices and then finding out that actually we have like a Venn diagram where we'll cross over and there'll be this middle ground where it's like Ryan and Will's taste actually matches quite similarly here. I actually think it's gonna be quite the same because my brother was very much into kind of dance music and I grew up off the back of that. So um
Sure.
the kind of
Yeah.
emo pop punk stuff was stuff that I formed myself, but then like we've spoken in the past about Darude Sandstorm, and that's a fucking banger. So,
Yeah,
like,
Sandstorm, Darude, what a tune. I
exactly.
I think I missed a band there which I'm off to go and see because I got it for Christmas, and they're like my favorite band, and that's The Prodigy, and they're still going even without Keith. And, you know, originally when they first started out, they were very, angst punk, do you know what I mean? And then well, actually, no, originally, sorry, reiterate. When they started out, they were very dance, rave orientated. And then in '96, something shifted and they went very punky and very kind of angst and yeah, um, totally changed their image and everything. And I just think they're very creative people and Liam Howlett is a real talent, you know, a real talent. Often underestimated, I think, you know, obviously because of the tragedy which happened to Keith and things. I think it sort of gets overlooked a little bit, but he's a real talent. Is Liam Howlett, big inspiration.
I have
Um,
I have a slightly embarrassing story about going to see them
Oh,
live
really?
at Gatecrasher Festival.
All right. Okay. Was it good?
I mean, so right. Um,
Because
I
really, you should be coming back from that saying, "Wow, I saw the Prodigy live, and they were like
mate, and you know what? I'd love to
exhilarating
be
to
able to say
watch."
that. I
Yeah.
would love to say that, but me and my brother made some brownies.
Oh, wow. Okay, I know where this is going. Right. Go on,
All I
do it.
remember
Tell
from
us.
the whole gig, right, all I remember is being stood there and this proper chavvy guy turning around, looking at me, looking at my brother and going, "Is he alright, mate?" Because I was just like the whole time. So I
That
don't
sounds
remember.
like an ADHD burnout on a daily basis. That's what I used to do in the classrooms without any brownies. Do you know what I
There you
mean?
go.
Literally, just when somebody would give me an instruction or tell me to do something, I would literally just look up and gawp at them like that and like stare through them. Ryan, Ryan, right? Oh, sorry, what did you say? Like, do you know what I mean? But yeah, crazy.
it was, yeah, as far as I recall, it was a really good festival, but I
Well, I mean, it
mean,
could have been anybody on that stage really, couldn't it? Like, do you know what I mean?
we
You could have
definitely
just
saw
been
Tiesto too. I remember a bit of Tiesto.
oh, wow, you saw Tiesto.
Yeah, it was a Gatecrasher was like a proper it was like a proper,
Yeah,
it was a
that was in Birmingham Gatecrasher, I think, wasn't it? I'm sure it was, like
I think they had 2 locations,
did
so
they?
yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like Coventry, Birmingham way, that kind of
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah. I've heard of Gatecrasher, yeah. Remember the
but
CDs, always very colourful and yeah,
yes,
with like a
I think that
lion on. Yeah,
yes, yeah, exactly, exactly.
yeah, I'm
So
aware of Gatecrasher, yeah.
I mean, yeah, yeah. I mean, I wish I remember more of it. I really do, but I just remember being asleep for a lot of it, just because I'd crashed out hard. Um,
Because it was that exhilarating to watch, like,
exactly, because
yeah,
every act there was just
such
so fucking
energy.
good.
Yeah, exactly. It was exhausting to watch, like,
Exactly.
of course it
Um,
was.
Ryan, let me ask you this, mate.
Fire away.
Give me a song that instantly puts you in a good mood.
And I've wait, what, of any genre?
And let's say you're having a bit of a downer.
Okay.
And you know that by playing one song, it's gonna put you in a good mood. I don't it's your 100% go-to. Like, if you were let's say right now, because it might be that you have different ones for different moods, but let's say right in this second, if you were having a bit of a downer, what do you think you would go and put on to kinda lift the mood a bit?
Okay, so I would put on do you only get one? Just one song?
Do you want
Can I have
3?
3? Can I have
You
3?
can
Give
have
me
3.
3.
Yeah,
Yeah, give me
go
3.
for it.
Yeah, okay, good. Right, so the first song I would put on would be, well, it wouldn't just be one song. I'd put the album on of the Lighthouse Family. Really like the Lighthouse Family. I think they're really cool. Really easy listening, really upbeat songs, happy songs, really good. Yeah, so that Lighthouse Family. I would play a tune by Olive called "You're Not Alone" because it reminds me of Sam, and it's our tune that when we get
That is
married.
my childhood as well.
Yeah, when we get married, that's gonna be our first song for sure. Like when we come down the aisle. Yeah. You're Not Alone. I think it's a really nice dance tune. Very sort of trippy and but it's got a really nice meaning to it. I love the synthesizers on it. It's amazing. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. Number 3 is a hip hop tune, right? And it's by a group called Jurassic 5, and the tune is called Day at the Races, and it's like an amazing rap of all 5 of them just vibing. It's awesome, man. And it's a really, it's proper hip hop. Do you know what I mean? It's not this like grime UKG sort of whatever you want to call it, dressed up to be hip. It's proper hip hop, man. It's good.
I'm
Jurassic
glad
5.
that we agree on that kind of like the kind of trap kind of a lot of it is just shit. Like it's you look at like Thug's Mansion or Changes by Tupac, and then you compare it to like the current stuff that's like I'm not
I
gonna
mean,
start
creatively, I like to think everybody is entitled to express themselves like that if they want to. Do you know what I mean? And I respect it. But equally, some of it, like you said, the T should be replaced with a C. Crap. Do you know what I
100%.
mean?
Well, this is it. So
It's
look, like you said, I'm not coming at anyone in particular here, but like you can't sit there and tell me that like the modern stuff that is coming out, a lot of it from London or the UK is anywhere near as good as 90s hip hop from like the West Coast or not even the West Coast, like there's just the East Coast as well. All of it, the whole scene back then, the emotion, the kind of hooks and melodies that they were taking and then putting their own beats to. Like, I know that he's not a good person at all, but like the song that Diddy did with this is a bad start.
did he? Did he? Did he? Did he? Did he? Did
Diddy
he?
And he
Did
did it?
he?
He did.
Did he? Did he do? He did. He did do, yeah.
He definitely
That's what
did.
he should change his name to. I did do. I did do. Not
I
did
did,
he.
he did. You know what? I'm gonna leave that at that. Diddy had a good song. Let's let's leave it at that.
I used to like playing the game Donkey Kong, right? But now I can't play it because there's Diddy on Donkey Kong, and I just can't put myself through it. Can't put myself through playing the game when I see Diddy appear. Do you know what I mean? So
I feel
yeah,
that.
I've had to pull my. I mean, I can only imagine what it's done to Nintendo's franchise with Donkey Kong. Do you know what I mean? It must
We have to
have.
rename him.
Yeah, yeah.
Like okay, cool. Ryan, this is a question we ask everyone. And it doesn't have to be a famous person. It can be
Okay.
a member of family or anyone like that. Who is your biggest hero in life and why?
Cool. Good question. Right. I have three heroes. Number one is this sounds really cheesy and really corny and really cliche. Okay. But I'm going to say it because I absolutely love them to pieces. So, number one is my mum. Number two is my dad. And number three is Sam. Sam, my fiance, has, she's not just my best friend. She's not just my soulmate. She's not just going to be my wife. She is everything. We do everything together. We work together. We have fun together. We live together. And there's never ever a dull moment. So we need each other. Do you know what I mean? And we definitely bring the best out in one another, and we push each other to always do our best and achieve. So yeah, she's a hero, a real hero. And my mum's a hero because she's always stood by me and supported me creatively. And she's an incredibly talented artist and creative herself. So that's where I get a lot of my creativity from, the talent and the sort of expressiveness. I get that from her. So I'm very lucky to have that. I'm gifted to have that. And like I say, I get that from her. So she's a hero of mine because I look up to her work and aspire to be like that, and deliver some of the things that she does. And the other one is my dad, because my dad has, um, my dad has taught me about morality. He's taught me from right from wrong. He's guided me to be the man that I am now. And he's taught me everything that I know. And yeah, I have a lot of respect for my dad. However, I will just say I can't spend any longer than a full day with him before we start getting on each other's nerves, because we are very similar characters and we rub each other up the wrong way, shall we say? And I think we annoy each other. But yeah, a funny story is actually when I got diagnosed at age 21 with ADHD, he came with me to support me to all three sessions, and a neurologist was incredibly good because she was doing a thorough analysis of me to give me a diagnosis. But she was side eyeing my dad. That sounds wrong, not in that way. Side eyeing him, meaning that obviously he wasn't sitting still or he kept interrupting and doing things. And she was analyzing his behavior as well. And she actually diagnosed my dad at exactly the same time I got diagnosed. So, again, that's something that we share. And I feel and think that it's, again, I'll just say this quickly. ADHD, neurobiological condition. It's not just something children have. It's not something that you're going to grow out of. It's going to be with you through your entire life. And again, my dad got punished at school for being who he was because he was misunderstood and he wasn't helped or supported. And he's always tried to help me with my needs growing up. So yeah, big love to them three. Definitely big heroes of mine. So not I don't find influencers heroic. I don't find celebrities heroic. I like real people. Do you know what I mean? People that are doing something selflessly to help other people and to try and bring the best out in them. They're the real heroes, I think. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
definitely. Shout
Yeah,
out
absolutely.
to mum, dad, and Sam. It's nice to hear dad, by the way, because in we're in season 3 now, and we asked that question to everyone, and dad rarely gets mentioned. I think it's been mentioned 3 times,
Really?
including
Wow.
you. And so it's
Yeah,
really
no, my
lovely
dad.
to hear
Do
that.
you know what? Another reason my dad's my hero is because of how he treats my mum. And I've always sort of aspired to be like that, you know. He's been with my mum for 40 years, settled down, had children, always been loyal, always been faithful, always been honest, always been there, always been reliable, you know, and you could depend on him. And he's great in a bad situation. You know, he uplifts people's spirits and things. And like I say, I've learnt a lot from my dad. Um, and Sam says I'm getting too much like my dad because I even look like him now. So that's getting a bit scary. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, he's a wonderful man. Battled cancer 3 times. You know, um, he's a astonishing guy and definitely my hero. So yeah,
Amazing.
absolutely. Big up, Dad.
Amazing.
PJ.
Double shout out, dad. Lovely. Okay. Amazing.
Definitely get the beers in for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on you, Dad. Let's get into your dream gig, mate. And so you may remember how this works. We're gonna start by setting the scene. We're gonna talk about the venue a little bit. And then I'm just gonna ask a few more questions, maybe play a few games. And what we'll do is we'll do each act one by one, and it'll be separated out by a few games and stuff. So don't like reel them all off at once. I'll kind of prompt you for the questions and stuff. So
Yeah, man,
um,
that's cool.
first things first, let's talk about the venue. Where are you having your dream concert?
Oh, it's gotta be somewhere warm. But on a beach for sure. I'm gonna go with Crete in Greece. Because not a lot really happens in Greece, does it? Do you know what I mean? So, apart from having nice weather consistently, and olive oil and halloumi cheese, do you know what I mean? It's yeah, and obviously them 2 guys that were on Britain's Got Talent. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Stavros
Then
Flatley.
Stavros Flatley, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
great
yeah, yeah.
guys. Yeah. So yeah, let's bring a festival to Greece because I love
Love that.
Greece.
On the
That's where
beach.
we're getting married, me and Sam. So let's
Hey.
yeah,
When are you
we're
getting
getting
married?
in June, and
Nice.
very excited to go back to Greece. It was my first holiday I ever went on with my family, and I fell in love with the place because it's a beautiful country, you know, architecturally and socially as well. They're very loving people, the Greek people. You know, they love families and stuff. Great hospitality. So yeah, I've always loved Greece. I'm looking forward to get marrying Sam in Greece, and now I'm looking forward to bringing my dream gig to Greece on the Encore Club. Let's go. Yeah.
So who are you taking to your dream gig? Is Sam going? Are the kids going?
Well,
Mum and
yeah,
dad?
Sam will be inevitably coming because she's not just my fiance and she's not just my soulmate and she's not just my best friend, but she's also my manager as well. So she will definitely be there at the side of the stage in the wings, looking at the watch, telling me to either get on or get off. Do you know what I mean? One of the
Love
two.
that.
So yeah, she'll definitely be there. The kids will be there because they always come with me to gigs. I take my family to most shows that I do. And yeah, I'd probably make it a free show for
Nice.
anyone who wanted to come.
Nice. Nice. Okay, I love that. And when
Open
you're
air, totally free. Come and get involved. That's what a fiesta is, isn't it? Like,
exactly, yeah, yeah. Come and party. Come and enjoy
yeah,
it.
yeah, man.
Amazing. Okay, cool. So we've got family and friends there. It's on a beach. It's a nice big festival. It's nice and hot. There's halloumi in abundance.
Yeah, on them little sticks, you know, with the sharp.
Little cocktail
Yeah,
stick
your
of
cocktail
halloumi.
sticks. Absolutely, yeah.
Love that. Okay, and then are you how you were drinking? Are you a big drinker? What's your go-to
Actually,
drink when you go
I'll
to
just get I'll put that straight. To be fair, no, not really. I think people think because I live quite a showbiz lifestyle and stuff, and obviously a DJ, and you know I've been fortunate enough to support some major artists and play some huge shows. I think people think that I'm some sort of wild party animal, because I've got a lot of energy and obviously a lot of charisma and stuff. But no, I'm not a drinker, and I don't take any recreational stuff. And I'm certainly not a smoker. I've never smoked in my life. Pretty clean living. But I do like to, if I want to have a drink, I like these like IPAs. Think they're really cool. In fact, I will just give a plug and a shout out to Salt Brewery. There's a place in Malton called Pizza on the Square, and it's owned and run by an independent brewery called Salt, which is West Yorkshire based. And I went for some lunch with my brother and my mum on Saturday, and we had pizza and stuff. And they do loads of session IPAs, like quite quirky ones. And I tried a rhubarb ale, and wow, you get hooked on that stuff.
That sounds
T-
right on
t-
my street.
it was, yeah, it was like a lager with rhubarb in it, but like it was so sweet, and it tasted like a shandy, but after two of them, you really felt, you know, tipsy. So it was obviously strong because it wasn't that fizzy. So you know them ciders that you get that are like really like 8, 9% that are like totally
Like
flat.
apple juice. Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah. Warm. Do you know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Um,
Old Rosie, I think there's
oh,
like a big
Rosie. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Amazing.
Was it was a bit like that, but no, it was nice. I definitely recommend it. So we'd have to get. I think we'd have to get them there. We'd have to fly a few barrels of that over for my
No.
rider. Like absolutely.
We'll get them to set up their own stand
Yeah,
at the festival.
yeah. I need that rhubarb ale.
Nice, nice. Okay, awesome. Okay, so we've kind of set the scene here a little bit. We know where we're going, we know who's going, we know kind of good idea of what's going to be there. Obviously, I'm going to be asking you for three acts that are going to be playing at this
Yes,
festival.
come on. I've
I
got them
have a
all lined
feeling
up.
I have a feeling that you're going to be playing at some point as well. So we'll catch up on that maybe a little bit towards the end of once we've talked about the three other acts. But for now, a couple more questions. Um, when you're on stage hosting or DJing, do you ever feel like you have to kind of switch into a different version of yourself?
No, no. What you see with me is what you get. Um, Majority of the comparing, the presenting, the hosting, the audience warm up that I deliver, it's all tailored to that audience in that present moment. So it's all improvised, it's all ad libbed, and it's all very quick wit. Do you know what I mean? Making jokes and audience participatory stuff that I come up with on the spot. And again, that's another gift, you know. Start giving me a script, struggle with that. I struggled with that when I went to stage school, college. You know, I'm trained in performing arts, and drama, and it's not because I lack capability or talent. I just struggle to learn lines and digest the information with my ADHD and stuff. And then you get put in the spotlight, and it's time to deliver the play in front of a live audience, and your class is all looking at you to come in with your line, and you forget it, and then they get frustrated, I get frustrated, everyone gets frustrated. Um, so yeah, I kind of realized that musical theatre and performing arts and things in that respect at that moment in time when I was sort of 17, 18 wasn't really for me then. So I kind of ventured into self training myself to compare and present and do a bit of stand up comedy and try everything that I'm doing now. Obviously, what I'm doing now is more matured and more polished, and I know what works, what doesn't work, more professional. But when I was younger, I was experimenting with my act and who I was, and I think all the roads led to where I am now with it. And yeah, I'm particularly proud of that. I think that's quite an achievement. Um, but yeah, yeah, all improv, all off the cuff, and I like the rawness of it, and I think the audience like the rawness of it, and it could literally go anywhere. That's the beautiful thing with unscripted performances. You don't know where they're gonna go. Don't get me wrong, there's the polar opposite to that where it can absolutely plummet and go down faster than the Titanic and, like I say, get things thrown at you like a coconut shy and booed and hissed like a pantomime, do you know what I mean? Um, but thankfully, I've not really had them issues for quite a long time, um, so there's obviously some consistency in what I'm doing. But yeah, never insult the audience's intelligence. That's what I always say.
Makes sense. Yeah, 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 definitely. And so if you had to pick, like, I don't know, not even if you had to pick, do you have a preference? Like, do you prefer to be DJing or just like comparing or doing characters? Like,
That's a great question. Yeah, the acting and characters, I really like creatively and expressively because obviously they're already established. So the characters that I'm doing with licensing and things are already established. People know who they are. They're part of a franchise or part of a huge films and series and things. So when I'm doing them and delivering them, they're a really authentic tribute to them characters. So I want to keep them exactly as the character was, if that makes sense. Um, so yeah, they're a challenge creatively, and I like it because it takes me away from who I really am. Gives me a challenge. Do you know what I mean? I have to become a different character. Whereas with DJing and presenting, people warm to your personality and who you are and your charisma. And the energy that you give to them and provide in that moment. So yeah, the character acting and the hosting and DJing are two totally different things. Um, but again, all three are connected and they have a lot of similarities because again, even though I'm doing an authentic tribute to character acting, um, it's still improvisation. You know, I'm putting myself in live situations, immersive situations with live audiences and you have to think quickly. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
Sometimes people aren't always very accommodating and, they don't always receive things well, jokes well, they act well, so they'll heckle you and you have to think quickly, to get back in the game. Um, and then some things just aren't even worth a reaction. It's just worth ignoring and walking away. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I think three totally different things there. Gone off on a bit of a tangent with the explanation, but I do think that they're very different.
that's fair enough. That's fair enough. Um, I think, yeah, I think I would struggle to pick, like, I'm just trying to think if there would be like a linear one that I would be like, this is
Which one
just
would you? Which one would you? For me personally, I think if I could, I love all three things, so it's really difficult to pick one. Do you know what I mean? Um, but out of all the things that I do, yes, I love music. I love mixing music, making music. I love acting. I love getting into characters, creating costumes. But out of all the things, I love talking and I love hosting and presenting because that is a very diverse thing to do and it can take you to lots of different things. Hence the motivational talks that I do, that's still presenting. I'm having to present a presentation to people, speak very eloquently, again off the cuff, improvised, a lot of it. And then some of it is scripted with presentations and things. But uh, it's also can lead to radio, it can lead to TV, it leads to festivals, it leads to training for things. You can present anything if you want to in a very diverse world. So I would definitely pick presenting because that is what I am, a presenter. So
nice. Nice. I love that. Yeah. Yeah. I think probably not presenting, like, I wouldn't personally choose presenting myself because I'm probably a little bit not scared, but like I'd struggle with that in that sense. Like I don't think
well,
I'd
you're a
have
really good host of this show, do you know what I mean? And
this
you
is
obviously confront a show, so it's but then again, standing in front of 10,000 people or 20,000 people, while they're all looking at you when you've got to fill 15, 20 minutes. For me personally, the reason why I like presenting is it's my drug. It stimulates me and my brain, my ADHD brain. Again, that pressure of not knowing what's going to come next can sometimes exceed my own expectations. And when I see an audience loving my energy or laughing at a joke that I've cracked or just getting involved with whatever vibes I'm providing at the event or the festival or the show, uh, I see the audience have fun, makes me want to have even more fun. And when I have even more fun, the audience want to have even more fun than that. So it's just a constant,
Cycle.
battle almost. Yeah, that's no one's ever gonna win. So it's like playing tennis. You're gonna bat me the ball and then I'm gonna bat you the ball back and so on and so on. And we're just gonna keep rallying until we just blow the roof off this place. Do you know what I mean? And that's exactly what it is. Give me a microphone and an audience, and I'll find a way of entertaining you. Whether you like it or not are two different things, but I will find a way of entertaining you. I'll find a way to engage.
Okay, well, look, that kind of segues quite nicely into my next question to a degree. You're a big fan of wrestling, WWE?
Yes. How did you know that?
I didn't, but I hazarded a guess based on I think we're relatively similar age and everything like that, and also music taste.
Absolutely.
So my question to you is, if you had a walkout theme song, what would you pick?
Oh, that's a good question. Oof. There's a song, right? And by a rapper called Akeem, and it's called I can't remember what it's called. When I'm on the mic, it's called. Um, and it's like it's an amazing tune. It's basically about him owning the microphone and how he can rap to a really high degree and basically saying, look, when I've got the mic, nothing can stop me, and you're not going to stop me. I'm not going to stop myself. Whatever comes out, comes out, and I think that's just a really cool thing. And it's like me when I've got the mic in my hand. I feel complete. I think that's yeah, no, I do. I feel like that's what I was destined to. I was born to do it. Like I mentioned at the beginning. And when I've got that in my hand and I'm doing my thing, everything else around me just sort of stops and I come alive, really alive.
Love that. Let's play a game.
Let's do it.
I think before we get into the first act, let's play a game. We're gonna play
A little
play.
guy ain't gonna come by on a tricycle, is he? I'll be
It's
getting a
gonna.
bit worried. Yeah,
I tell you what, there will be a logo
yeah,
here.
right.
Um, we're gonna play, repeat, delete. So
Okay.
we have for season 3, we've kind of altered how we play this game because before we were playing it and it was very quick and it was just a quick question, but we've got into rounds now. So idea of play, repeat, delete is it's shag, marry, kill. But it's going to be with round 1 will be with some artists, round 2 will be some bands, and round 3 will be some songs.
Yes,
So
good. Let's do it.
I'm gonna the way this works is round 1, I'm gonna pick 2 artists, and you're gonna pick the 3rd, and then you have to pick which one you're paying, which one you're repeating, and which one you're deleting, okay?
Right. Okay.
So
That sounds like a difficult challenge.
I
In a
mean,
cost of living crisis, in my opinion, everyone deserves paying. But yeah, well, but yeah,
sorry,
okay. Let's do it. Let's see
that's
where this takes
that's
us.
my fault. It's not paying, sorry, it's playing. Play, repeat, delete. So it's
Oh,
like
playing, right? For you, right?
play it once or
Okay.
twice, repeat it
You're all gonna
forever,
get paid. Don't worry. Cost of
they'll
living.
get paid, but
Everyone's
unless
gonna
we
get
delete
paid.
them. If they get
Okay.
deleted, there's no money for them. So I guess that
No.
kind of works. Right. I'm picking the legendary artist and the modern.
Unless you pay them to delete it, because it's that bad, right? Like,
Yeah, well,
I
exactly.
mean,
I mean, they'd have to delete themselves, so I don't know how. I mean, they're getting paid. Who cares? Um, right. I'm gonna pick a legendary artist and a modern artist, and then you're gonna pick the third artist to go with
okay,
those
let's
two.
do it.
So,
Let's go.
legendary artist Michael Jackson, modern artist. Let's go with Lady Gaga. So you got to pick the third person to
What,
go
as
with
a
that group
legendary artist?
as an artist. So I've done the legendary and the modern. I just need you to pick one more artist to go with that trio into that trio.
That's a really tough question. Like, for someone who's a musical jukebox, and now I'm on the spot. Oh,
I've got more of this as well, mate. So
all right. I'm gonna put Morrissey up there.
Morrissey. Okay, so now I
Yeah.
need you to pick one to play once or twice, one to repeat forever, and one to delete from existence
Okay.
out of
What
those
from
three.
Morrissey's soundtrack?
So from some between Morrissey, Michael Jackson, and Lady Gaga, you have to play one forever. Play one once or twice, repeat one forever, and delete one from existence.
Oh, that's hard. Right. So I delete that Lady Gaga poker face.
Gaga's
Right.
gone.
Yeah. Good.
It's
Because
not.
that
It's not her
is.
song, mate. We're going for the full artist. We're deleting Lady Gaga off the face of the world. Sorry,
Yeah.
Lady Gaga.
It's right. Sorry. Yeah. Um. Jeez. I'd probably play Michael Jackson because he's got like loads of different sort of sounds to himself, really, hasn't he? Like,
Yeah.
obviously, he's the king of pop, but he's got different levels and genre. Like, he does ballads and things as well, doesn't he? So,
Yeah.
yeah, play. What's the other one?
So play, which is like playing it once or twice. Repeat,
Yeah,
which is forever, and then
right.
delete. Obviously,
So, yeah, play Michael Jackson, and I would repeat the Smiths.
we're gonna go with Morrissey because this is artist. We'll move on to bands next round,
Okay,
but
right. Sorry. Yeah, right. So, yeah, play Michael Jackson and repeat Morrissey.
and delete Lady Gaga. Okay,
Delete
lovely.
Yeah,
Round
Lady Gaga's gone. Like,
She's gonzo. Right. Round two, bands. Okay. And
yeah,
I'm gonna ignore the screen in front of me and just go with ones that we've chatted about today. So I'm gonna go with Good Charlotte.
yeah. Ooh,
I am gonna go
this is
with
gonna be a tough one. This I don't go
Linkin
on.
Park.
Oh no, right,
And then
okay.
I'm gonna go Blink 182. Play,
Oh,
repeat, delete.
okay, right. Let's do it. Let's do it. So I would, I would repeat Good Charlotte.
Cool. Good
I would
Charlotte on repeat.
play Linkin Park, and by unpopular opinion, I would
Oh.
have to delete Blink 182.
Blink 182 have just been deleted. Round three, songs.
That's gonna get
This is
some
where I'm
hammer,
gonna
I feel. That's gonna get. I mean, what? I mean, I defy anybody else to sit in this seat and make the other choices. I really do. Um,
exactly.
yeah.
I'm about to turn your world upside down a little bit
Go on.
because this round is songs and I'm picking all three. So we're going Sandstorm by Darude, You're Not
Oof.
Alone by Olive, and we're going Insomnia by Faithless.
Oh,
Play,
you
repeat,
can't do
delete.
that. Oh, he's just done it. Right. Okay. Right. So I would delete Faithless Insomnia.
Okay, fair.
As most dance tracks are very repetitive, but I feel like that can be very repetitive. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I
Um,
feel that.
as much as I like Faithless, I think Faithless are awesome, by the way. So yeah, delete Faithless. Sorry, Faithless. Faithless no longer having faith in that. So goodbye. Um, I'd repeat the Rude Sandstorm and play Olive You're Not Alone. I don't
Nice.
want to overkill Olive You're Not Alone because it has sentimental meaning to my life and my
There you
partner.
go.
So,
And that
so
makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah. So we'll leave that there.
Amazing. Okay, and that's play, repeat, delete, the new version.
Brilliant. We
Thank you
got
so
to
much.
the end. We got to the end.
You survived. Well done. Let's talk about your first act for your dream concert. Let's not waste any more time. Um, who is the first act of your dream concert?
Right, the first act would be groundbreaking, and I would make sure it would happen, even though it might be difficult to get the full original lineup back together due to a lot of different circumstances. But I would have the Smiths on that lineup. Now, whether it would be just Johnny Marr and a backing band, or Morrissey and his backing band, I would have some version of the Smiths on the
Well, how
roster.
about this? Right, because it's your dream concert, you can have the
Yeah,
original lineup.
right, there we go. So, what, even Back from the Dead and all that? Yeah,
Back from
just
the dead, like, this is your
right. So
dream
we're
concert, you can have
reincarnating people. Brilliant. We're bringing them back.
100%. Bring them back, chuck a guitar on them, chuck a bass on them, chuck a drum on them.
Right,
Don't
great.
chuck a
So
drum on
yeah,
them.
yeah, absolutely. The Smiths. I think the
Lovely,
Smiths are an
okay.
awesome band. They're just for me that they predate all the Manchester stuff, right? And without the Smiths, you wouldn't have the Stone Roses or the Happy Mondays or Oasis. To be honest, you wouldn't have indie bands in general, I don't think, if the Smiths hadn't come around at that present moment in 1982 when they did and did what they did for
To be
music. So
fair, the Smiths definitely influenced a lot of, like, the kind of emo-y pop, like, so, like, there's a band called Brand New, I don't know if you know them. They literally speak about Morrissey and the Smiths in a couple of their songs, and I
yeah,
think
it
take
was like music for misfits. Do you know what I mean?
mm,
But back then in the 80s, the early 80s, when they first came to surface, I don't think anybody had seen or heard anything like the Smiths. And we're still the fact that it's 2026 and we're still talking about them now. They'll never they're timeless.
yeah,
Some bands, some musicians are just world class, just timeless, and the Smiths for me are definitely one of them bands. That's why I mentioned them. I think I do like the Smiths a lot.
agreed.
So,
Okay, I love that, and so what encore song are they performing?
oh, it's got to be "Hand in Glove" for me. I like that tune. It's a good
Nice.
tune.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Okay, awesome. Okay, so you've got the Smiths performing original lineup. They're opening the show. They're ending their set on Hand in Glove. Before we get on to the next act, let me bring you back in. I'm gonna ask a few more questions, and then we'll get back into it. Um, how big was the biggest audience that you've ever performed to, and what did it feel like?
I've performed to 50,000 people. Then I've performed to 20,000 people, and then 10,000 people. So I've anything sort of between 5 and 25,000 is average for me at festivals. Um, but the 50,000 capacity was unreal, just electrifying vibes. But then again, I did a show last year supporting Ella Henderson and Jax Jones. And there was a few thousand at that gig. It was a homecoming show back in Cleethorpes, where she's from and originates from. And that was, again, another electrifying concert. The audience were, you know, incredible right from the get go. And I played a mashup set sort of between all the acts coming on and coming off. And yeah, it was a really wonderful experience. But yeah, I've been very fortunate enough to support some incredible acts over my years doing what I'm doing.
That's pretty cool.
So
I'd love to get Ella Henderson and Jax Jones on here. I think I've actually emailed their their
yeah,
publicist.
do it. Get on it. Get on it. Ellen's really nice. Again, Jax Jones, a very creative person. Do you know what I mean? I love what he's doing musically, infusing music together from different genres, different backgrounds, different cultures. I think that's magnificent, and I really commend that. So
That's fair enough. And it okay, so that's pretty huge. Who's the biggest artist you've kind of worked with?
I've worked with all kinds of artists really, from all different sort of backgrounds and different circles, and different genres. I think probably one of the most um, underrated acts, not just underrated, but the most vocally sound acts that I've worked with is Natalie from Cascada. I've done some Clubland shows, and she's a phenomenal vocalist. Um, and the fact Cascada's still huge now just says everything there is to know you know about why. Very, very, very good group, and obviously the pop, but the dance, and they're a soundtrack to a generation, I think.
Yeah,
Um, and it
100%.
doesn't sound that when they sing all the classics and the songs, they don't sound out of place now. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like the Smiths in a different genre, but it's timeless. Do you know what I mean? Some music, some musicians, some vocalists, some performers are just ahead of their time in what they do. Do you know what I mean? And Natalie from Cascada is definitely one of those vocalists. So yeah, she's good. I've worked with so many that it's so difficult to sort of to think. Sometimes I go blank because I don't sit and recollect everything that I've done. I just do it, just get on with it. But yeah, I've worked with hundreds of artists. You know, from all different genres: pop, dance, soul, Sister Sledge. That was amazing. What an amazing show that was. Um, Craig Charles, Gabrielle. Trying to think of some others that I worked with. The Vamps, they were pretty cool.
A huge
I've warmed
list.
up.
Like,
I've
that's
warmed.
really
I've warmed up for the game, the rapper. Uh, yeah, the list goes on. Yeah, the list. Honestly, it's wild. Like the amount of people that I've worked with from all different genres and styles of music. It's
I was
it's
gonna say,
phenomenal.
that's like a very eclectic mix, but, like,
Eclectic mix, yeah, absolutely.
heavy hitting names as well, like The
But
Game.
as a DJ, I'm not a complacent performer or a complacent DJ that has a hit or just sticks to one style of music. I'm a multi-genre DJ. And again, I like taking tracks, taking stems, taking vocals, and infusing something together that hasn't been done before, or creating something which is a different version of the original. I think that's uh, I think that's really interesting. Can learn a lot from that, you know.
Yeah.
Um, Absolutely. And again, it's the yellow brick road into being diverse and working with lots of different people and staying relevant, most importantly, because it takes you to different gigs and festivals and different shows, and you get to meet lots of different people, and yeah, it's just about networking in it. I think it's how you conduct yourself around people as well. But but I'm trying to think of some more names that I've worked with. I mean, this year I'm supporting Scouting for Girls, and who else I'm supporting? Heather Small from M People. Um, Sigala, working with Sigala this year, so that'll be good. Um,
Like,
yeah, the
Cigar is
list
a
the
one that
list
I'd love
goes
to go.
on. Yeah, Sigala's cool. Some really good music from Sigala. But yeah, the list goes on and on and on. Um, yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
which leads nicely into us talking about the second act for your dream gig.
Yeah, second act.
Second act, who are we bringing on stage now?
Totally different now, okay? Um, and I'm a big fan of hers. I think she's an absolutely magnificent vocalist. Again, a total one off. And I know she's been suffering really badly over the last few years, but it would have to be Celine Dion.
Nice. Okay, awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a lot of respect for Celine Dion. I think she's a very good singer. Equally, I have the same respect for Madonna, but I mean, she's a totally different style altogether. But I like the fact that she she's Celine Dion's quite diverse, but she's got an amazing voice. and when she's on it, she's on it. Whereas Madonna, I respect her diversity more so than her music, but I like the fact that she's always stayed relevant and she's always changed. She's never stayed complacent, got complacent in the field of work she's in. She's always tried to switch it up and, you know, creatively come up with something which is of the time. And I have a lot of respect for people like that. So
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I think, anytime I've seen Celine go on, like, a talk show or something, she's always got, like, a really great personality and sense of humor.
yeah, I think really down to earth person. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I
exactly.
think music needs more of that. You know, less of this influencer approach and
Yeah, get rid of the ego. Let's just
more,
have
yeah,
people.
no ego, just humble, real people. Do you know what I mean?
Agreed. Yeah, agreed. Agreed. Okay, and what encore song will Celine be performing at your festival on the beach in Crete?
Oh, that's a tough one because she has so many good songs, doesn't she? But it's got to be that soundtrack from Titanic, and it's definitely got to be "My
Yeah,
Heart Will Go On."
it
You
has
know
to be, doesn't it? Like,
what a
out of
power
all the
ballad that
songs,
is. Like, I mean, that's the ultimate power ballad, isn't it? If you could write a ballad, that is what you're aiming for.
can you imagine how much she's earned off that? It must be mad.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy.
It's gonna be a lot.
I, and if she hasn't, then someone has. Do you know
Well,
what I
exactly,
mean?
yeah, yeah, someone's
Like,
breaking it in, fair play to them. Okay,
yeah,
cool, so we've got the Smiths, and then we've got Celine Dion. This is already shaping up to be a huge gig. I'm looking forward to seeing who the headliner is.
it's gonna be epic. It's gonna be epic. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it, but before we do, I've got 2 games to play with you quickly.
Okay.
You will be happy to know they're very new games. They haven't, really been done much at all. So the first one is called Legends versus Icons, and in this, I am going to pick. Actually, you're going to help me pick 2 artists or bands that will go head to head, and once we pick them, I'm going to run through some different rounds, and we're going to have a little conversation about who wins each round until we crown a winner. Okay, so let's let's use the Smiths as a starting point. Is there maybe a band or an artist that you think is maybe on par with the Smiths, in your opinion, that you love as much?
Yeah, there is actually, and it
Yeah.
predates the Smiths, but, a band called Squeeze. I really like a band called Squeeze, and a little bit of a fact and a bit of trivia for you here, is that Jules Holland, that we now know as the guy off the telly, he plays piano, he actually used to play in Squeeze. That was his band
It
originally.
was, it
It's
was.
it's
So,
yeah,
do you know the names of
Squeeze
the
are great.
all the other members?
Glenn Tilbrook, and I've forgotten the name of the other guy,
Is it Chris
but,
Difford?
yeah, that's him, yeah.
So
Squeeze.
Chris Difford, was my teacher at uni. I went to a music uni.
Wow! No
Um,
way.
yeah, and I have a little story I can tell you about that. So he used to be,
Do you
um
speak to him? Is he on this is he gonna watch this podcast?
I mean, I can definitely fire it his way. I don't think he
Yeah,
remembers.
please do. Tell him that I'm a big fan of Squeeze and I have a lot of respect.
I would
So,
love to, yeah, no problem. A little story about him and another artist that you might be aware of who was in my class. This is terrible. I've completely forgotten the other artist's name. Basically, um, who's the guy? Tom. His name's Tom, and he did a song called "Another Love."
Tom O'Donnell,
Ah, mate, oh. 1
just
minute.
look
I
it
do
up.
have the internet in front of me. Bear
We get
with.
Tom Jones, Tom.
"Another Love." Tom Odell.
I was right. Yeah, Tom O'Dell. Yeah, that's it.
Right,
Right, okay.
okay. So I was in class with Tom Odell and James Bay, just to name a few people.
Wow.
Um,
Where was this?
so
Where was
I
this at?
I went to a uni in Brighton called the Brighton Institute of Modern Music, BIM. um, and I was on a songwriting course. Obviously, it went well. Um,
I mean, yeah. What
um,
now you're doing my job
yeah.
for the masses on Instagram and YouTube and social broadcasting.
So basically, Tom Odell, I think the from what I understand, Chris Difford was a fan of Tom's music that he was releasing at the time under the name Tom and the Tides. There's a song called Spiders, I think, on Spotify by Tom and the Tides. I fucking love that song, and that is Tom Odell before he was Tom Odell. Um, my understanding is Chris Difford put a lot of weight behind Tom Odell and kind of pushed him to um, be who he is and what he is today. He kind of mentored him a little bit.
Sort
Um,
of saw the potential in
exactly.
what he
And
was
Tom,
doing,
to
yeah.
be fair to Tom, he was you know when you see someone and you're like, yeah, that person's got it. Whatever it is, like he's got it and he's got
Yeah,
the
you can sense it, you know that they have something that
Tom had that
stands out.
and he still
Yeah.
has that. And Tom, like, I wish you all the best, mate. I hope you're doing good. I'd love to get you on a show. But yeah, like, my understanding was, it's got to shamelessly plug it.
Oh, I love that
Come on the show,
shameless
bro.
plug. That's marvelous. Yeah, brilliant.
But yeah, my understanding was Chris had a hand in I guess training Tom, for lack of a better word, like getting him ready and helping him get into positions that
Give him some
um,
extra tuition to get him to where he is now,
I don't
basically.
even know if it was like extra tuition. I don't think it was that necessary. Tom was like a fantastic musician back then. His piano playing was insane.
So
And
Chris Difford was the middleman. He networked for
I think
Tom.
so. Yeah, I
And
think there was a level of like, Chris saw the talent and thought, you know, we need to push this kid. Like we
this
need
needs
to
to
get
be
him.
seen. Yeah, it needs to
Yeah,
be seen and
exactly.
heard. Absolutely, and fair
It's one of
play.
those good stories of like that you hear of like someone helping someone through the industry to get them to a place where they believe they should be.
Yeah, exactly. And that's how it should be, and that restores a lot of faith and a lot of hope for upcoming artists. And I think if more people did that, um, then the world would be a wonderful place.
Exactly. Look, I've taken us off on a huge tangent now, so let's get back to legends. Let's get back to legends versus icons. We've got
Well, can I
the
just say I
squeeze.
really enjoyed your story about Tom
Little
O'Dell and
anecdote there of
yeah, and
how
Chris
I
Difford
failed
from
at songwriting.
Squeeze. Like, what on earth? Being a teacher, I didn't even know he was a teacher. Like, so
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's mad. Yeah, I remember he took our live performance workshop class once. So it was just like we perform and then he'd give feedback. That was always a good
did he?
laugh.
What was his feedback to you? Just out of curiosity.
Oh God. I don't really remember, to be honest. It wasn't that big. Like the way it worked is you perform and then everyone was given a sheet of paper and they'd write down some notes and hand it all back to you.
Did he
Um,
say, "Good effort. You might be better off doing a podcast"?
he might as well have. You know what I mean? Like it. I was also smoking a lot of weed back then, and I barely remember my own name half the time. So let's get into legends versus icons. We've got the Smiths versus Squeeze, and
Yeah.
round one we are going to talk about who changed music more. So we're talking influence, innovation, impact on music, cultural importance. Who do you think changed music more? This is very much in your own opinion as well. It doesn't have to be like backed with evidence.
That's a good question. I think in terms of um, experimentation and sort of being pioneers, then I think the Smiths are definitely all those things. They were, trailblazers in what they did. Um, Squeeze were good musically, but they didn't have the edge the Smiths had. They didn't have the image the Smiths had. That's what defines the Smiths, and not just their image, but the music. The music. A lot of Squeeze's songs are quite intellectual and You know, I'm not saying Morrissey's aren't. Morrissey's lyrics are very intellectual, but they have a very sort of gritty northern kind of realism to them, whereas Squeeze's lyrics are a little bit less sinister than Morrissey's. So
Mm.
I think in terms of, I'd go with the Smiths.
Okay,
The
cool.
Smiths all day long. They're gonna win that battle for sure.
That's fair. Okay, so we've got Smiths winning round one. Round two, who has the better live show? Now, if you haven't seen them, we have to kind of figure it out
Okay,
based on your
okay.
opinion, what you know of their live shows. Who do you reckon's got the better live show? So we're talking stage presence, crowd control, iconic performances, and real stories.
Um, from what I've seen of Squeeze now, they just sort of stand and clap their hands and sing a few songs. Whereas I think Morrissey turns up to a show now, it's still pretty full on, and he's got fans throwing themselves at him like he's some sort of messiah. Do you know what I mean? And top comes off and flowers are getting swung around still, and the guy's in his 60s. What? So yeah, I do think the Smiths would win that absolutely, hands down. So 2
Okay, so
nil
we got
Smiths.
Smiths on 2-0. Round three, who would win in a songwriting battle?
Oh, that's a good question.
We're talking
I,
lyrics,
I,
melody, creativity, and consistency.
I do think Glenn Tilbrook writes a good song. That song that he wrote called Up the Junction, that's a very sort of bitter song, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to go Squeeze with that. You
Nice. We're
know,
throwing it to Squeeze.
yeah, I think his lyrics are very good. I can't deny that he's not a good songwriter because he is. So, him and Chris Difford. So, not
Okay.
saying Morrissey isn't a good songwriter, and Johnny Marr is a fantastic musician and songwriter. But yeah, sorry, Smiths, you've won two. I'm gonna give this one to Squeeze.
All right.
Squeeze it in.
I love that. Round four. This one's personal choice.
Yeah,
If both bands release tickets at the MEN Arena
yeah,
for tomorrow
yeah,
and you could only go to one,
yeah. Smiths.
it's the Smiths.
Yeah.
So we do have a winner. It's the Smiths by default.
I like the way you threw in the MEN arena there. I think that's
Had to make it personal to you, mate. Like
absolutely, yeah, the Smiths, hands down. I do think that would probably have a bigger comeback now than Oasis did. Just because, again, they're another highly anticipated band, and they hate each other. So, which is really sad. It's tragic, travesty. Yeah, I've met Johnny Marr actually. He's a wonderful guy. I was hosting an event in Cheshire, um, and he was with Ever Smalls. She was singing, and he's good friends with her, and he came to watch her backstage, and I brought her on and the band. And when I came off, I walked down the stairs and stood next to me was Johnny Marr, and I went up to him and I said, "It's Johnny Marr." I said, "I love the Smiths," and he's probably heard that a million times, the whole cliche. But he gave me his plaque. I've still got it. Yeah, yeah. It was really special with the gold writing on it and stuff. So yeah, that's a real nice little souvenir there that I brought back from that show.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It was a bit embarrassing though because Sam was like, "Is that?" She said, "Is that Noel Gallagher?" I said, "No." I said, "No, that's Johnny Marr," because he had his little sideys and that, and he did look a bit like Noel, to be fair.
Yeah. So I did photography at a festival once, and he was performing there, and yeah, there was a couple of times where you definitely could mistake them maybe a little bit backstage
Yeah,
walking around.
that was when he had colour in his hair, right? Like,
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, definitely.
yeah,
Right, we're gonna move on to the next game. This one's a little bit easier, a little bit more fun. It's
yeah.
called The Impossible Band.
Oh
So,
wow. Okay.
this is your chance to build your ultimate supergroup. There are four people? Three people that I want you to pick for this band. I need a legend, a current star, and a wild card. you know what a legend is, you know what a current star is. The wild card could be a comedian, an actor, fictional TV person, TV personality, anyone in the world that you want, real or fake. But
Okay.
we have to build this three-piece band, and then once you've built it, I need you to tell me who's doing what in the band.
Right. Okay. Okay. Let me have a think about this then. So, right. So we'll start off with the first person I would have would be. This is really tough. Just remind me again what three have I got? I've got a
The
legend.
a legend, a current star, so just someone who's quite big at the moment, and then a wild card.
Right. Let's just get totally random here. I would have Debbie Harry from Blondie. She'd be the legend. Yeah. Yeah. Um, I would have Iggy Pop.
Amazing. Okay, wow, this could be a good
Yeah.
band.
Yeah. And currently, I would have a DJ and producer called James Hype. And we'd mash it up and create some kind of Prodigy esque mashup punk anthem. How does that sound?
That sounds really fucking good. Okay, awesome. Okay, what would the band
Yeah.
be called?
X rated.
X-rated. Okay, love that. And that is the Impossible Band.
Yeah, we did it.
Ryan,
I did it. I did
you
it.
did it, mate.
Wow.
You did that in decent time as well. Like,
Did
I
I?
think sometimes
I feel like you should time that and put that to all your guests and see how
I should
quickly
get a little
people.
stop clock here, like a digital one that's facing you, shouldn't I?
And you
Just be like,
should totally do it. You have to do it in 60 seconds. Go.
I've got these, right? I've got 2 of these. When they've got batteries in, they obviously make the sound and light up. I'm trying to figure out some sort of game where I can employ them without, like, upsetting, like, the guest too much. Like,
Yeah, Britain's Got Talent. I mean, that
exactly.
sound that you just did there is very liberating, you know? Like, it's, yeah, nobody wants to face that really today. Let's get real.
Exactly. Ryan, we've made it to your headline act, mate, of your dream concert, your dream festival out on the beach in Crete with the Smiths and Celine Dion. I need from you your headline act for the evening.
Okay. I would have headlining my festival. I feel like, I don't know, there's a couple of bands that I missed out, but I like them, but they're not, yeah. Oh, this is hard. This is hard. Do they have to be a band?
No, not at all. They can be anything. They can be a comedian if you want. I don't care. It's your dream gig.
Right, so I would have the real Kevin and Perry. I
Okay.
mean, I know the tribute to Kevin and Perry, and they are astonishing. They are so authentic, so funny, amazing. But I'd want Harry Enfield
And
and
Kathy
Kathy
Burke.
Burke, but just on the DJ decks, you know. All I wanna do is do it. Bingo, bingo. Yeah,
I
just
love that.
just to give that little festival dancey, trancey vibe.
I
Yeah,
fucking love that. Okay, Kevin and Perry
that's
headlining the
class,
show.
isn't it?
That is
Yeah,
class.
absolutely.
But before we have their encore
Whilst
song,
I
which
get a bottle of vodka and put it in my eye, like, do you know what I mean?
eyeball pull.
Yeah, yeah. That's
I
my
love that.
middle name, Paul. So,
No, there you go.
yeah,
Just get
so
that
there's a
eyeball in.
connection. Yeah,
Okay, so before their encore song, which I believe we kind of know what song that's going to be, the headline act always has the option to bring out one special guest to perform one special song with them.
right. Okay.
Who are Kevin and Perry bringing out as their special guest, and what are they performing?
Oof. They've got to bring out David Bowie.
Bowie coming out for the Kevin and Perry gig. I love that. Okay, and what are we
Yeah.
performing?
Doing a dance remix to Changes. Changes. It'd be amazing.
Love
Like,
that. Okay,
with like a
awesome.
140, 150 BPM on the backbeat of it. Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, and then
Let's dance.
what, like a bit of a mashup into a melody of a few of his songs.
Yeah, and everyone's just like, yeah, yeah, like a medley. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah,
Perfect.
it'd be incredible. A David Bowie medley halfway through a Kevin and Perry DJ set.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so
It would be even more amazing if he, when he did the medley, could do like quick costume changes from all his like eras. Do you know what I mean?
like
Right
Iggy
through
Stardust.
from Ziggy Stardust. Yeah, do you know what I mean? And yeah, it'd be
I love
incredible.
that. I love that. That'd be class. Okay, well, yeah, well, he can definitely do all that. That's not a problem at all. It's your dream gig. He can do
You know,
whatever he
like them
wants.
AI videos where people change like this, like in a few seconds. I'd want him to do that with his
Nice.
image and while singing all the songs as well. I'm not asking a lot here, am I? Like, do you know
You
what
know
I mean?
what? I'm here for it. I'm here for all of it. Amazing. Okay, so we've got that, and then Kevin and Perry are gonna have to do their own encore song. Is that we're going for the standard Kevin and Perry song there?
Yeah, or some sort of trancey. I like a track on there called by Y Tracks. It's a great Mysteryland. It's called great tune. There is some really good tunes on Kevin and Perry. What a soundtrack to a film that is. But yeah, I missed out a lot of DJs as well. Just name drop a few now, but just because I
Go
feel
on, hit me
guilty.
with them.
You know, if I had a bigger roster and a bigger bill, I'd be definitely adding people like Cal Cox and Fatboy Slim to it, and Paul Oakenfold, um, Suede and Blur, and trying to think of some more. The Horrors, I like them. Have you ever heard of them
Nice.
before?
Yeah, yeah. No, the Horrors.
Right.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah,
These people are all playing at your festival, just in different tents. We're
just add them
concentrating
on
on
the
the main
bill.
stage.
Yeah, and have Russell Kane there, and
Oh,
you know,
amazing.
yeah. Who else would I bring back? Give Michael Barrymore a gig just because I feel bad that he hadn't had any in like 20 years. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
give them a go.
yeah,
Yeah, why not?
um, yeah. Look, I like comedy as well. I really like stand-ups. So
I'm
uh,
a big fan
I,
of stand up
I
too.
like that Ross Noble. I think he's quite funny, and
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah,
have a
yeah,
lot of respect
definitely,
for
mate.
him. Um, who else do I like? I like Lee Mack.
Nice, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, mate. A whole comedian tent, I reckon,
yeah.
at the festival.
Get them all
Get
on.
get them all
Get them
on.
all. Get them all on.
I love that. Okay, Ryan, we've completed your dream concert, mate. Well, it's not even a concert; it's a festival. We've got a beach-based
It's
festival,
a
and we've got
fiesta on a beach
a
in
fiesta on the
Crete.
beach. We've got a comedy tent.
Yeah.
Blurred playing somewhere off on the beach, and then we've got the main stage that has the Smiths, Celine Dion, and then Kevin and Perry with a little bit of David Bowie sliding in at the end and doing some costume changes. I absolutely love it. That is absolutely perfect for the Encore Club. The exact kind of gig that we're looking for here,
What an
mate.
end of
Before
a show that would be. Just imagine that. Like,
huge,
yeah,
huge.
yeah.
Rounding off a night with Kevin and Perry doing a full Kevin and Perry-esque set, but throwing in real David Bowie as well, like,
Finishing off with life on Mars, right? Whilst
oh,
taking off in a rocket into space. Like, I mean, that that would be the ultimate ending to any show, right? Like, do you know what I mean?
perfect. And you've just given me my thumbnail, so thank you very much.
Yeah, there we
Um,
go.
before you go, Ryan, I'm not gonna let you go yet. We've got some other bits to do, mate, but, this is quick fire, this bit, so we're gonna do wild would you rathers. So,
Let's
you
do it.
know you know the premise, let's crack on.
Let's do
Um
it.
Would you rather host one event to 100,000 people or perform every weekend to 500 die-hard fans?
Oof. That's a really tough. No one's ever asked me a question like that before. I would actually prefer to do the 500 every week because
Nice.
these days I'm all about consistency and I like entertaining people regularly rather than just doing one big thing in my career and then living off the back of it like many artists do. Not no offense to anybody, but yeah, I would rather be known for doing something regularly and doing it well. So yeah, 500 a week every week.
500 a
Let's
week.
go.
Love that. Would you rather do characters forever, or only be yourself on stage going forward?
I would like to just be myself on stage.
Nice. Would you rather forget the music during a DJ set or forget what you're supposed to say whilst hosting?
I'd rather just forget the music
Okay,
because people can be more accepting when you make a bit of a bodge up on decks. Because
nice.
I can always make a joke of that saying I can't even mix a pot noodle. So, but but uh, but yeah, when you're saying something and you can't get your words out, people think, oh, you can't even string a sentence together. So I'd rather just make a mess up of the DJing than I would the
Makes sense.
broadcasting. Yeah.
I feel that. Would you rather perform every show in a costume or never be allowed to play music ever again?
Oof. I much prefer. Is that a trick? That's a trick question. Never,
Um,
never play.
so you only ever get to play music wearing a full costume.
Yeah.
Let's say the mask, just for ease, just so it's relatable.
Ooh.
You only ever have to like
Theme
anytime
sets. I like
any
it.
DJ set you're doing has to be done as the mask, or you never get to play music ever again.
Go with the first one.
Lovely. Okay, and would you rather the crowd laughs at your wrong moment or doesn't laugh at all?
No, laugh at the wrong moment because it's real and raw, and what you see is what you get, and there's authenticity behind it. And I'm not pretending to be anything else than my true self. So yeah,
And that
Oh,
is that. Ryan, thank you so
we
much, mate.
wrapped
That
that
is
up really well. That was
a
good.
lovely answer. Mate, before you go, please tell everyone what you got going on in your life, what's coming up, what I know there's a full blown Yumi ADHD tour
That's
across
correct.
the
Yeah,
year. Go for it,
yeah.
mate. And you let them know.
So yeah, loads going on this year. Like I said, I'm going to be supporting Scouting for Girls and Sigala and Heather Small, plus some support acts and myself at Cleethorpes at the Meridian Showground in the summertime. I'll be hosting all the balloon festivals across the country as well for Showtime events. So you might see me coming to a town or city near you across the summer. Plus lots of other DJ sets and appearances that I've not announced yet because I've been so busy with Yumi and ADHD, which has been uh, I've been inundated basically because I do it all voluntarily, so it's all done free and basically to get back into communities, trying to help people with neurodivergence and their families in a SEN crisis. But yeah, in October we're doing a tour. I think there's going to be about 50 schools, colleges, universities, and community groups on that. Some will be public as well. And if you want to find out any more information, then hit me up, official Ryan Swain, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, have a look. And don't hesitate to get in touch, especially if you want me to come and do a motivational talk. Like I say, I do them completely free. So,
Amazing. Amazing. Ryan, thank you so much, mate. I really appreciate it. Thank you
yeah,
for
no worries. Thank you for having me on, as
sharing
always.
your dream gig, which was incredible, by the way. It's been a pleasure to speak to you, and everyone, like Ryan said, go and check him out. Go and check out everything he does. Go and follow him on Instagram if you don't already, although you should be. If you're not, why not?
Woo!
There you go. And and we'll see you again soon.
Yes. Thank you very much, Will, and all the best with the Encore Club. Thanks for having me on, guys.